Hey fellas, and welcome back to With a Y. Anybody with a dead brother out there? Sorry if I touched a nerve with that one. It is relevant though. This stinks. It's not that good. There's a good chance you guys have seen some visage of Sans that looks like him doing this face. He's like, "Wah, my fucking brother's dead and his scarf's on the floor. I'm so sad." While I did find this image amusing the first time that I saw it, like just on my timeline, I didn't think it was gonna go nearly as fucking far as it ended up doing. This Toon Hero guy is who I saw do it first, and then there was like an attached audio edit where it's like Sans in a different art style. You're gonna see him look a lot of different ways in this one video. Open your ears if you have any appreciation for music at all.
Well, this stinks.
It's so fucking good, dude. But as like the shit started going wider, I was like seeing people mention my name where it's like, you know, the With a Y video is coming in like a day. And I do apologize. I just got back in town, so I've been a little away. But I think like on the long weekend I spent away from home, I heard this audio bit like 40 different times just from like random people. I'd walk by a Sans cosplayer and I just hear this coming from their phone and they're all giggling to each other over it. From Toon Hero, credit to the original, this blew up a lot for the sprite version. Follow and commission the OG artist that made what this was based off of. Very cool stuff. I like your expression work, but I hate Homestuck, so I'm going to put you into the meat grinder. From what I can tell, Hamdogger, which, dude, that is a fucking baller ass name, dude. They basically just like did this shit on a whim, and it ended up going way farther than they probably ever intended it to, as many of the things in our shitpost lexicon tend to do. And I think the version of this joke that I've seen get spread around the most is by this one animator, Coda. There's a good chance you've seen this person's work before. If you've ever seen those clips of like digital circus animations that look really nice, but you're like, where the fuck was this in the show? There's a few people like this dude, but like their animation is just so stellar, you could think it's easy to mistake as something directly from the source material. They decided to make this about fucking Sans crying.
Well, this stinks.
Those are some heavy flow fluid simulations, man. If you were gonna use like my diarrhea stream as reference for some visual effects you were doing in a movie, this is the type of fluid simulation you'd probably have to bust out if you wanted to get it as lifelike as possible. Of course, the replies are all just different versions of it, and also the bitrate just breaking down at the very end. And this is the reason I find it so funny, because when Hamdogger saw, oh fuck, I've been perceived, I'm gonna fucking kill myself, the amazing digital circus animator found my garbage ass image. I apologize if I'm making your life worse as a result of covering this, my friend. This type of thing, as is standard in like a lot of fandom spaces, just deteriorates incredibly quickly. Me when my hot dog turns into a scarf. I cannot eat the scarf. One thing I do greatly appreciate about Coda's interpretation of this, though, is they gave us a little behind the curtain look at their work, where they're using the original 2D reference, and you can see it in like a side-by-side here. The amount of detail they managed to get out of, what are these, like 12 or so lines that make it look like Sans was just piloting a Titan? How much of this rig could you have possibly had to use for this fucking animation, man? That is a genuine question. I would have no idea. And then they give us like one more little sneak peek where it's just details of the rivulets of blue blood coming out of Sans's eyes. True elite skeleton, man. You know, if you've read enough fan fiction of Undertale or Deltarune over the years, there's always like this one bit where like the author makes a joke about how like Sans's cranium being made out of solid bone but also being able to emote looks weird as shit. Like, imagine how strange that has to look IRL. This is kind of what I imagine it looking like. The thing with 3D animation is that you can use all sorts of tricks for perspective so that it looks really good at one specific angle, like forced perspective. There's like a lot of other tricks you can do. So when an animator gives you a behind the scenes look and rotates this shit 3D, it looks really fucked. Like, I haven't thought about this in years, but it reminds me of the spider everybody said James Charles looked like back in 2018. Does anybody else remember this fucking thing, or am I going insane? These are not mutually exclusive things, to be clear. I looked up the dumb meme because I kept seeing it. Whoever made this, you owe me royalties. And of course, immediately the fucking crying Sans head got put in Roblox. You know, it works weirdly well in the art style. Now, the fun thing of meme formats is that, you know, they become malleable. That's like the whole reason they're mimetic. So people have been using it as a vector to like express things in their own fandom, and also like gripes they have in their community where it's like, well, this stinks. Advertisement that relies on stink humor. The manual that comes with it literally says, this game stinks. Used to be a full package of $80. Oh, damn. So that's where Nintendo got the precedent set. Earthbound is everything that's wrong with the gaming industry today. I'm gonna get shot in the fucking face for saying that, and I'll probably deserve it. I'm gonna say, like, minor spoilers for, like, a bunch of various games, and also bits and pieces of Deltarune and Undertale as we look at some of the variants people have been making. Nothing major. I don't even recognize all of them. The thing this one is referencing is, like, a completely different fucking video than what we're talking about right now. You guys haven't seen a crack ship until you've seen the guy who, like, exclusively does art shipping The Abandoned Vessel and Device Friend. Image Friend. Yes! I can't do the voice, mate. You also have Ribbit Rabbit, where, like, Jax became a cold-hearted, jaded, not killer, because you can't kill people in the digital circus, but, you know, solidly deranged because his best Ribbit buddy completely abstracted. Am I using Ribbit gameplay in the background of this? If I'm not, I should remember to for the later. I've made it no secret how much I love it when, like, little stupid shit posts like the original one of these gets people to, like, just reach into their creative bag so they can depict a character they like in a new situation. They're like, I just gotta flex my creative muscles so I could get, like, 40k likes on Twitter. Still very impressive. Like, oh, I'm fucking Susie Gaster Deltarune. Oh, the only teacher I've ever had who didn't make me feel stupid and I actually felt enriched by is dead. No! This is by Carrot, by the way. Good work on this. People just redrawing the face to redraw it, not even attaching it to anything new, which I greatly respect, mate. Sometimes you just gotta do things for the sake of it. There's also this post that's going around where it's like, what's your most obscure or cool Undertale Deltarune fact? I'll probably get around to that later. But this piece of trivia came up on me, like, while I was researching this video by complete coincidence. I wasn't looking this tweet up. In Undertale, Sans is the only lost soul that has shaky dialogue. This type of dialogue is commonly used by Napstabloop, who's a character that often cries. Sans was crying. He's canonically capable of at least half of the actions he's taking in this original image. He can absolutely shed tears, and we've seen him contort his face into really weird shapes. So it's within the realm of possibility that Sans could look like this for real. On top of that, you had somebody bringing up this old post where Toby Fox was talking about a call-out post made about Undertale that said a bunch of shit I don't feel like reading here, like, who cares, it's a decade old. And Toby Fox's response was to reply by role-playing in character as Sans. And of course, the most important line people took from that, the concept of Sans crying in the rain. I had to stand in the rain in that cool way where you can't tell if I'm crying, like, yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. The brain rot just coincides in very interesting coincidental ways. I've been trying to find where, like, the original audio even came from, and I did find a few loose threads from different Twitter accounts about, like, where bits and pieces came from. Like, we know Hamdogger did the original drawing that, like, got the equivalent of a comic dub. Now, I saw this Vaporeon account say, hey, I made this original video, the one where it's, like, the drawing that's just been dubbed. Why'd it beep at the end? Which is actually something I didn't notice until Seeking Deaking asked about it. Now, Vaporeon says that they're the person who said, well, this stinks. I don't know if that's true. I went through their profile for a little bit, but what they did, interestingly, contribute. This dude gave us the original audio of, like, where the crying Sans comes from. Deltarune Chapter 5, Sad Death. It is really funny because I feel like for the longest time there was a different dude in that second hospital room in every Deltarune chapter, so Sans wasn't off the table. He's not off the table right now. Now, even if this dude's fronting about his credentials as to being the originator of this fucking thing, he did give us, like, new lore to parse through, and you can't really discount that. The homie said, I made and posted this video on my main account, which has been deleted. I still have the video on my PC, though, and they have a crazy poll. This is probably the best quality you will get of this video, man. Lost media discovered in the replies of a random Twitter thread. I have no idea how I stumbled across this.
Well, this stinks.
Yeah, bro, you gotta put this shit, like, unlisted on YouTube, man. Twitter compression is beating the fuck out of your otherwise pristine quality video. So, you know, just another collective effort and community brain rot, and I've been enjoying myself. It's one of the less substantive ones, but tracking the origins of it all, I had a little fun with. That's all I got. That kwytebox email's in the description if you guys want to send me any video topics. This is your last chance to ask something for the 200k Q&A video if you want to in that community post. Anyways, piss off.